got Tanya in the house to talk movies here on Good Things. Rhino, is this a movie related or just having a good time?
It's movie related, but it's not a new release. It's in honor of an anniversary.
Any takes?
I know last week was Clueless, and this is definitely not from that movie.
I don't think he would know that anyway.
Today is the 40th anniversary of the release of Back to the Future.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I can hear. I was sitting here going, Jaws, no. Like, trying to think it was. Okay, Back to the Future, 40 years. Wow. Somebody feels really old right now. That's one way to do it. When you saw Jaws was like, 30 or 40 years ago that it had been released, you're like, man, what's one way to make you feel? Or 50 years, wow. One way to make you feel a little like you've aged just a little bit.
For sure.
But there are some new releases. You've caught up just a little bit. Tanya, this is a big weekend for moviegoers.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Jaws, Steven Spielberg is a producer for the big one this week in Jurassic World Rebirth. Mm-hmm. So this is the newest installment in the Jurassic Park world. This one takes place about 5 years after the last movie we saw, Jurassic World Dominion. Mm-hmm. World Dominion. And I was kind of underwhelmed. I mean, I'm just going to cut to the chase. I was a little disappointed. I think that if they had waited 3 or 4 more years, that it would have been much better. It was just too soon. But the premise of the movie is you've got, the cure for heart disease. But the way to create it is...
We already have a cure for that, by the way.
Yeah. This is the easy cure.
Vegetables.
But in order to develop this cure, of course they have to have blood from 3 different dinosaurs. And you have to take it from them while they're alive. So...
That adds the element.
That's kind of how the story kicks off. So you've got Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend plays kind of the scientist behind, or the owner of the company behind this vaccine or whatever you call it, cure. And anyway, so off they go to the only place where dinosaurs still live, in the world. All the dinosaurs that we met at Jurassic Park that escaped and went everywhere, they're all dying off or sick because of the climate we live in. They can't handle it. And so they're able to survive on these remote tropical islands because those conditions are favorable for their lives. And so they have to go there. And humans are not allowed there because you will die if you go, because the dinosaur will eat you. And so it's a very risky adventure. They're all being very well paid, which is why they're going. And here we go. So, people are talking about the jump scares, and there were a few, but to me it was not nearly as terrifying as the first movie in the series, and they're trying to kind of compare this one to that one.
You mean like Jurassic Park or Jurassic World? Okay.
The very first Jurassic Park. Now, at the very beginning, you kind of set up the story to show why these dinosaurs that we do find that are still out there living, they're crossbred. And so there's a scene at the very beginning that explains how we got there. And there is a very, very scary scene, and I thought I would not take my child to see this because it scared me to death. But the others, you got dinosaurs eating people, but they've got their formula. They pick the ones you don't want to live. Right. the bad guys that you're like, they're dead, whatever. But it just wasn't as scary to me as.
Is it because of what I said last week, Tanya? It's just less believable.
Maybe,
and I know none of them are believable. Like I get the irony in that with the talking about Jurassic Park, but from the trailers, they looked like they've gone too. Like monsters, like it's not
right.
They're not as a representation of what we learned that dinosaurs look like.
Exactly. I think that is part of it. And one of the dinosaurs that they saved to the end, and I don't think I'm spoiling anything, we always know there's a big finale, looks very alien.
Okay, that's a better word.
Yeah,
alienish.
Yeah. And I'm like, what movie am I watching? But I also think it's fatigue. I think the very first was so new and so original, and the dinosaurs look great, and they look great in this one too, but we're used to it. So I think that's maybe why I wasn't quite as scared. The other thing, they have a random family that we meet at the beginning of the movie that they wind up getting stalked by a dinosaur that's a water dinosaur. And it's got a name, but I can't remember. And so anyway, they're in peril, and they come into contact with these scientists that are getting all the blood. And I just never really took a liking to this family. I'm like, they could have made this movie without these people. They have a teenage daughter that I thought was a very annoying, kind of a loser boyfriend of hers that was not likable.
I'm so proud of
I
Tanya.
thought for sure he was going to get eaten because they didn't make him likable, but no spoilers. But I think he survived. Honestly, I can't remember right now. But anyway, it's just, I just thought, okay, they should have cut that family. But it is also 2 hours, which if they had cut that family, they could have easily knocked it down to an hour and 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I have had a few friends go that have younger, tween 13, 14-year-old boys, and they're loving it because it's, it's right up that kind of like alley.
And I feel like if you are a dinosaur
the kids
person,
are loving it.
Yeah, I think kids are going to like it. And I think it's definitely worth your time to go see it on a big screen if you like that. If the Jurassic genre,
just go in with lowered expectations.
Yeah, and I mean, it just, I don't know. Maybe I had too high expectations, but I also think, okay,
the fatigue part's real.
Yeah, and I've felt this way with some of the other franchises. It's like sometimes, let's just take a minute before we release another one. And they were already starting production on this one when the last one was in theaters. And so it's like we just needed a little bit of a pause, I think.
But there you go. Well, is there anything else new out?
That is it for this weekend. So I'm sure if you go to your theater, half of the screens are probably going to be showing this one.
Well, I was going to ask if you had the chance between Mission Impossible or Jurassic World, which one would you choose?
I would definitely go see Mission Impossible. Even though it's 3 hours, I would definitely go see that one. I've already gone back to see it, so that's definitely the better of the two. And F1 is so good, too. If I had my choice between F1 and
Mission Impossible, which one would you choose?
That's hard. They're both equally worth going to see.
Which one could be most...
How do you choose between Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt?
Well, they're both don't get morality checks from me, but
I think if you don't have as much time to go to a movie, go see F1. If you've got time, go see Mission Impossible.
I was going to say, which one would translate better to like streaming once it hits? Like if you're ones that don't go to the...
that's a good question.
Don't go often, but they're going to end up streaming. So
yeah, they both really need to be seen on the big screen.
You're not making my weekend decisions any easier.
I would say...
If you've seen all the other Mission Impossible, should you wrap it up?
Well, I was going to say if you've seen all the others on the big screen, go see F1 because Mission Impossible is kind of more of the same. But it definitely needs to be seen on a big screen. So you just got to go see both.
Just okay. Well, we'll just camp out. Mom, I'm not getting my kids back.
And you'll be happy to hear Megan tanked.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
That's little faith left in humanity.
So I don't look for it to do well this weekend either.
No, it's terrifying. Why would anybody want to go see that?
I know. That little doll is really freaky. And the next weekend we've got Superman. I'm so excited about that one.
Yeah, my little it's so strange how like certain things that transcend I guess generations in terms of culture or pop culture, should I say. My 5-year-old knows who that's Superman, like sees the commercials and like the trailers, and I mean she doesn't know enough. We don't read the but like, oh, there's Superman and there's da 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 and there's da da da, and I was like, what where are you getting all of this? But it's like it is like just like kids
right.
just know
Everybody
that.
knows Superman, I think, and
And what's the Christopher the Superman that had passed.
Reeves.
Thank you. His family came out and gave a great nod
Yeah,
to this
his
Superman.
son has a cameo in this one, so that's good. He will.
Not that you need that, but it just felt
I know.
kind to do it.
Yeah, I think so too. And the guy that is the newest Superman to me looks like the perfect Superman. So,
And that's next weekend?
it's next weekend. So, go see. I mean, you have a buffet of things to go see. So, to bide your time until Superman.
Well, my decision hasn't been made, but you were no help, Tanya. All right, stick with this. We got more for you up next.